Good morning. And how is everyone today? My hair's always doing something funky when I come on here. How is everyone? It is an absolutely gorgeous day here. Hopefully, you guys are getting a nice one too. Forecast whether it's local weather or whether everybody's getting this gorgeous sunshine. It's freezing again, mind you, but who really cares when you see the blue sky? I've not been into the burn yet, but I know it's going to be cold. Anyway, today is Friday and I'm on day something like 12 of the Gerson therapy, which has been really interesting. And I'm finding it, I have to say, I've keep been too scared to say that I'm finding it pretty easy, to be honest. But you have to be organised. None of this kind of rummaging around in your freezer for something to eat. You have to have your shopping in and you have to be completely um, organised with all your vegetables. Obviously, I just make my juice. This morning I made my juice and made the soup. There's a Hippocrates soup that you have to have, and then something for dinner. So it's all made. All the veggie goodness. Morning, Kimberly. Morning, Billy. Morning, Leslie. How you doing? So what we're going to do again, we're just going to do some of the breathing that we did yesterday because I think it's good to repeat when you get a new breathing technique. It's good to repeat it. And I'll just tell you the guy's name, Andrew Huberman, and they do a lot of testing in their lab, different breathing techniques to see what oxygenates the body. Morning, Annette. Oh wow, amazing! How was it? Did you enjoy it? And it would be beautiful. Was it sunny and calm? And oh, I was actually thinking of maybe drive somewhere nice today because it's so cool. I'll digress for a second in terms of the cold water. If you're lucky enough that you can get into the loch or a river or a canal or whatever you can get into outside, you're getting a myriad of benefits from it. Ah, that's great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And it can be really challenging. I took a young guy in yesterday and I was like, respect. It was clearly one of the most challenging things, shaking and cold, but yet did it. And you can see the body, the stress, change right in front of your eyes. So please, if you're suffering from anxiety, find somebody to take you in. It doesn't need to be anybody trained, somebody that just knows how to do it and can get you breathing and really hold your hand. It's really helpful to hold somebody's hand and just get under and just stay for that sort of 1.5 to 3 minutes until you start to feel warm. Believe me, that actually happens. So a phenomenal tool. And so we know that the top two ways to instantly change your chemistry is the breath and the cold. And luckily it's April and we have that in Scotland, easy to access. So the breathing techniques that we did yesterday, in case you weren't here, it's a double breath in. So you're breathing like this. And you can do 2 in and 2 out. So or you can do 2 in and 1 out. Morning, Mary. You did a bit of both. Good, Annette. That's awesome. So 2 in, 2 out, 2 in, 1 out, 1 in, 2 out. But what we know from Andrew's tests is that double breath in is what opens the alveoli in the lungs, at the bottom of the lungs, and that's when we get the most amount of oxygen. And remember, to get cellular tensegrity and for us to be able to let go of the past effortlessly, we want the cells to be in this buoyant, expanded state. It's like we're opening the doors of potential to let out what we no longer serves us and to see and attract what we would love rather than what we've been programmed to believe. We really are the Truman Show, and we're going to break down these curtains and we're going to look out and see the absolute mystical mystery and magic of the universe when we let go of all our concepts and labels around what we believe to be true and what we believe to be real. And that can be a really scary concept. From the Sedona method perspective, we always, let me stop this making a noise. How do you stop it? Put that on. So from the sedona method perspective, we look at what were attachments and aversions. I want this and I don't want that. So we're continuously being attracted towards and repulsed. We're like, yes, So this attachment and aversion, we're holding on to these, to both of them. That whether we're judging something or whether we're loving something, it's irrelevant. It's still an attachment. So when we let go, so if you imagine I always imagine it like you're holding on with two arms and two legs to a wall on either side. And when I ask you to let go of everything, there's a feeling that you will drop down. And when in actual fact, the opposite happens is, of course, that you rise. When you let go of the weight, your vibration comes up. Morning, Jean. Morning, Pat. So when you have the courage to let go, in our culture, conceptually, we think holding on keeps us safe, because that kind of makes sense in a conscious mind kind of a way. If I let go of this, rope or bar or whatever, I'm going to fall. And so letting go can be a challenge for a lot of people. They don't want to let go because they don't know where they're going to end up. And that's where the courage comes in. And that's why most people will just let go a little bit. Oh, I'll let go a little bit. Oh, a little bit. Oh, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. And eventually, when you get the courage to just really go for it, which I'm inviting you to do today, you will feel the enormous space and relief and peace that is always there under all the crap that we've been carrying around for our whole lives, a lot of it. And then we're projecting it into a perceived future. And we're ruining that as well with this, the mind, because it's all up here, isn't it? We know that. Disease starts and finishes in here, and that's my big gripe about all the labels and concepts and naming. When the body starts to give you symptoms of disease, which is like it'll start knocking. I'm tired, something's not right, I've got a rash, something's out of balance, I've got a pain, I've got a lump. The body is communicating, and what we do in our system is we take all the symptoms and we give them a name, and then we put a concept around it, and then we put a treatment to match the package. Instead of what we should be doing is listening in to this marvellous, magnificent, vibrating, intelligent mass to see what's out of balance and what is the root cause of our problems. And then when we get into that, from that level of understanding the phenomenal intelligence of your body, it's just talking to you, and we just don't understand the language, and to be honest, most doctors don't either. And we cut things and we treat things due to a complete lack of understanding of what the body's trying to communicate. And sometimes that works, but sometimes it doesn't. A lot of the times it doesn't, and it can cause more problems down the road. So what we really want to be looking at is prevention and understanding when these symptoms, when the body starts knocking, that we're listening and we can go, okay, what needs to change here? Because that's what it's all about, the C word, change. Okay, so we're going to start with the breath. Morning, Alison. So double breath in to really truly get as much oxygen into this baby as we can. And remember, disease cannot live in an oxygenated environment. People go and pay for oxygen therapy. Think about this. We have this power to oxygenate, to alkalize, and to change our chemistry with this and with this. And nobody's really ever explained it to us properly before. And now, thanks to the amazing work that is going on with Andrew Huberman, James Nestor, Joe Dispenza, the list goes on, Lynn McTaggart, we're finding out really how we affect, morning Clementine, how we affect and impact not just our pH and our oxygen levels, our gut, and how that impacts our brain. The gut-brain, the gut-heart-brain connection, where that beautiful symbiotic relationship, which when it's signalling properly, is working in our favour, and when it's not signalling properly, when the worker ants are not getting the right food, or we're overfeeding the wrong army, and the army gets out of balance and we start to lean towards disease, and then we have to rebalance, redress that imbalance and start feeding the good army for health and wellness. So we're going to do 2 breaths in and 1 out to start with. So I'll just show you. Now remember, the rule of thumb is, if you want more energy, breathe in more. And if you want to calm down, breathe out more. Okay, so the ratios of breathing in to the breathing out are going to dictate whether you're going to be energized or whether you're going to be calmed. So today we're going for more calm. Okay, so just do it with me and just keep going until I tell you to stop, because it's going to be, let me get my timer here. Okay, you ready? So just get comfortable and be patient and really think about the oxygen and the light that you're bringing into the body, and how the cells are going to expand in this powerful, powerful way that you can really feel, and that you can really tune in and listen. And this is when you can ask the right questions, and when you can feel, and memories might come up, and just be really, really focused and alert in the most peaceful way to what information is about to appear in over the next 5 to 10 minutes. So we're going to do this for 5 minutes. We're going to switch it up a little bit, because I'm not going to do exactly the same, but it's going to be just a mixture of 2 in, 2 out, 2 in, 1 out. Okay, morning James. How you doing, hun? Happy healing. So 2 in, 2 out, and then what we're going to do is you breathe, it's a double breath in, so it's, and then you squeeze your fist, tighten all the muscles in the body, and then relax, and 2 out. Okay, so 2 in, squeeze, 2 out. So that's a funny wee exercise, but I think you'll like it. It feels good. We're going for the buzz, always that feeling of expansion and lightness. Right, so I'm busy talking, I forgot my timer. Okay, so do it with me. We're going to start off 2, 1. So. Join in. Okay, you're probably starting to feel a wee bit lightheaded, a bit of a buzz now. Just keep your eyes closed and keep going, and if it feels too much, just slacken off and then start again when you can. And we're going to do 2, 2 this time, okay? Okay. And this time we're going to do 2 in, squeeze, and really engage and focus, and do this as if you mean it. It's your body. Take control, take charge of this. We're really oxygenating. We're going for cellular tensegrity, and then we're going to let go of everything that no longer serves us. Okay, 2 in, squeeze, tighten your fists and squeeze all the muscles, and then 2 out. So breathe in, squeeze, 2 out, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Okay, we're going to go back to 2 1. Okay. Close your eyes and feel. There may be tingling, change of temperature, lightheadedness. Might just feel nice. No analysing required, just being. Feel all your cells sunbathing in the energy of the oxygen. They're lightened and they're expanded as you just go into this deep, deep state of peace. Let go of all trying to figure things out. Welcome any wishing anything or anyone was different, and just let it go. Welcome all trying to figure it out, what, why, where, when, but. Welcome all of that, and just let it go. And welcome all feeling that if you've been taking things personally, other people's behaviours, opinions, beliefs personally, welcome all feeling that anything is personal, and just let it go. And welcome any feeling of waiting for things to change so that you can be happy, healthy, free, safe. Welcome all waiting, feeling of waiting, and just let it go. Morning, Veronica. Morning, Nick. Okay, And welcome all wanting security, control, approval, separation, and oneness. And just let it go. And welcome all wanting to control other people's points of view and beliefs and subservience, opinions, points of view. Welcome all of that, all wanting to control others, the apparent others. And just let it go. Okay, so if there's anything specific you want to let go of, just pop it in the box and I'll help you with it. So we can work, remember, from the Sedona method, we can work on the feeling that we have in the body in this moment. We can work on something that we're still harping on about from the past. Trust me, we are carrying stuff from decades and decades ago that really has to be released now. If you want to be a light worker, a warrior, to help guide us into the new earth, the past has to be released. It is that simple, because it weighs you down, slows you down. Something on my face. So letting go of the past can be challenging because there maybe people have done things that you find unforgivable and incomprehensible. And it's not about letting people off the hook with things that they've done. It's about letting you and yourselves off the hook. You don't forget, and it doesn't mean that action cannot be taken, and people write letters, maybe even go to the police, do whatever they need to do in order to feel that justice has been served, or you just move straight into forgiveness and forgive yourself for everything and that you've been beating yourself up about, shame, guilt, anything from the past, feeling that you've been punished or should be punished, all the things that we carry around, feeling that you're to blame, the blame, shame, complain, game, all of that. It's time to let all of that go. You know, we know Joe Dispenza's work shows us that our memory is at the best 50% reliable. So some of the stuff we may still be believing may not even be accurate. So there's absolutely no reason to hold on to the past. That will, for your health, your immune system, and for your happiness, and for your just your lightness of being, it is time to forgive and forget and move on, because we have work to do, my friends. And that work is raising our own vibration and moving up into these much higher perspectives of being, where dis-ease and suffering can no longer exist, where fear of death is completely released, and fear of time. Two big fears in planet Earth. Time. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time left. And fear of death, which, I mean, I think we're seeing now how people are behaving because of fear of death is just astonishing. So it's something that we're all going to die. So we're all going to have to face it at some point in the future. So it is time to let go of that concept, the one that is really weighing us down and keeping us in fear and keeping us controlled. Observing as our freedoms are taken away. It's crazy. Crazy. So anyway, that's what I'm here for, to help you let go of that. So think of something from your past that you're still carrying around. And you know, I don't say this lightly. I know some people have had awful things happen to them in the past. And there's nothing we can do about that now. We can't change the past. But what we can do is we can unhook the suffering from the memory. And the suffering, the continued thinking about the trauma is what continuously keeps us stuck and causes the body more stress and harm. And that can be the most challenging thing, to let it go. But when you understand everything is energy, and we have the power to choose where we put our focus and attention, and we have the power to choose what we let go of. And this is what this next session's about. So it might be an experience, it might be an event, it might be a person. Or maybe you're grieving for somebody and you're finding it hard to move on, to let go. You don't let go, because that's another really common thing when somebody dies and you want to, the pain keeps you connected to the memory, and the idea of letting the pain go feels almost like, you should be suffering, because you feel as if you're betraying them if you're not feeling the pain. And that is also another concept from the mind. And in actual fact, the freer we are from the pain, the more connected we are to the other realms. That's my perception of events. And the more we can tap in and touch and trust that we are always, it's all illusionary in nature. And when we really start to understand that, we can really give ourselves a huge, huge break by letting go of the past. So if you want to just close your eyes and think about an event or a person that needs to be released, it's not the person or the event you're releasing, it's the electrocution around the memory that you're letting go of. So bring it in, feel the feeling, feel it, maybe painful, tears may come. And just observe the body's reaction to the memory. And just for now, observe and allow all the sights, sounds and sensations to be there. Welcome it as best you can and just let it go. Set it free with a very clear intention. Take your arms wide. And again, think about it. Yes, it can, Alison. I'll come to that, sure. So welcome the feelings around the event, or the self-doubt, or the feelings about yourself. Maybe you've had self-loathing. Maybe it's an event, a trauma, a person. Maybe it's 2 or 3 people. Bring it all in and just let it go. Set it free. Come on. Your power, your choice, your intention. Let it go. You can always pick it up again if you don't like the feeling of freedom. And now welcome all wanting control, security, approval, separation or oneness. And just let it go. Set it free. And then think about it again. Same thing. Feel what the body says. When you go into the mind's eye and bring that memory in, the body will react from the past and you will feel the reaction. Observe the reaction, welcome the reaction, and just let the reaction go. Let the feelings go. Set it free. It's time. Okay. And how does it feel now? Again, get the memory up in your mind's eye and observe the body. What does the body see when you remember that? It may be clear now. If there's still any reaction, welcome it and just let it go. Okay. Sorry about that. So, feel the body. This is the language of the body. It speaks to us in feelings. The body is the subconscious mind. It's giving you out all this valuable information about what is trapped in there. And for your point, Alison, self-doubt, feelings of not being worthy, feelings of deserving the crap that's happened, and all of that what's wrong with my words? Blame and complaining and shaming that we carry, guilt, all of that stuff. So we can really use this method to get in and see what is there. You just go into your memory bank, you find the memory, you hold the memory, and you see what the body says. And, you know, if it's a really painful one, you'll experience it, feel it in the body almost immediately before you've had a time to think. And that is what we are doing, we're unhooking that electrical charge off that memory so that you can think of it without being hurt. Does that make sense? So let's just do a little release on, you can carry on, and if that one's not completely released yet, you can carry on in the same one. If you want to change to something else, let's do something on how we feel about ourselves. Any self-doubt, self-loathing, any loathing of the body, we don't like the body, how it looks, how it feels, all that stuff that we do with self-judgment about how are we good enough, are we smart enough, are we enough of anything. So just close your eyes again and think about, you can either go back to what you were working on before or think about how you feel about yourself and your skill set and your level of intelligence and the body and how you're doing in this world. Am I enough? Good enough? Smart enough? Beautiful enough? Did I deserve all these things that have happened to me? All of that, any self stuff, any self-criticism and judgment that's going on in there. Feel the body's reaction to the thoughts. Welcome the reaction. And then just let it go. Never let the simplicity of this technique trip you up. It's so powerful. Intention. Welcome it. Thank you. I no longer need you. And I'm letting you go. Let it go. Okay. And welcome all wanting control, security, approval, separation, and oneness. And just let it go. Okay. So you can do that with anything. The brilliant thing about this method is when you feel the stress in the body, you don't even need to know why it's there because you're at the best guessing why it's there. There's a lot of collective fear right now. There's a lot of shifts and the Schumann resonance is going up and down and round about the shop. So there's all sorts of stuff out there that can be affecting how you feel. So, but what happens when we have these contracted negative feelings, we look out our life and we assume these are the things to blame. And I think we're making a lot of assumptions, it turns out, that are just rubbish. And we're believing a lot of our thoughts that quite simply are not true. And take self-doubt as a good example. I am not good enough. So, I am not good enough. Is that true? Well, well, sometimes it feels like it's true. Can you 100% know you are not good enough? Well, no. What for? What are you not good enough for? Who says you're not good enough? You? Somebody else said it? You can't in somebody else's opinion from school days, maybe even perhaps? So, number 3, how does it make you feel when you choose to believe that thought? It makes you feel that you're not good enough. Question number 4, who would you be without that thought? Feel that? Turn it around. I am good enough. I am. So that's how you do the work on all these limiting beliefs. And then, of course, we do some EFT. So tap with me to finish off. Even although I was still wanting to hold on and cart the past about, even although I didn't really realise that I was still doing that, I deeply and completely love, trust and accept myself. Even although I've been holding on to the past without realising, and even although I've been allowing the past to hold me back and depress my immune system, and even although I've been wishing things were different and feeling like a victim and not really knowing what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and not being bothered to do the things that I know will make me feel better. Even although I don't always get it right, I deeply and completely love, trust and accept myself. Even although I'm holding on a little bit still, because that's what I've always done my whole life, and I didn't realise what I was actually doing. But I deeply and completely love, trust and accept myself. And even although I sometimes believe my thoughts, and even although sometimes I believe my feelings, I think that I am the feeling, I think that I am the thought, I forget that I am the pilot of this spaceship. And I can fix it. I can let go of the feelings and I can stop believing any negative thoughts that no longer serve me. I have the power. I am the power. It feels amazing to see through the illusion of the thoughts and the feelings and the limitations from the past. I'm letting go of my ex, of my parents, of my siblings, of my teachers. I'm letting them go with love. I'm no longer suffering through the past and other people's behaviours that came from their pain. I have the power to let this go. I am the power. It is up to me 100%. And I'm going to stop moaning and groaning and I'm going to stand. I'm going to rise. I'm going to let go. Let go of everything and anything that no longer serves me, and I'm going to create an enormous space for unconditional love and peace and relief from that illusion and all the suffering around it. It feels amazing to let go. I have the power to release all stress. I am letting go. 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 I am healing and I am forgiving. And I'm standing in my power. Deep breath. Yeah. Yes, Jean. Memories are memories and energy is energy. It's us that decides whether they're deep or not. But it's very common to think that some things are going to be much harder to let go of than others. And it's simply not the case. You can let go of anything that you choose. And it's only the conscious mind that wants to put it into, oh, you can let go of that, you couldn't let go of that, oh, that's going to take a long time, oh, that's going to be easy. We put, because that's what the conscious mind does, it puts things into boxes and then we believe it. Very often the deep painful memories are the ones that will go the fastest in my experience. So yes, you can let go of anything. And if anybody wants to work with me one-to-one, my sessions are £50 and 200 for 5. So you just ping me a message and I can work with you one-to-one with it if you would like. And if you can't afford it, ping me a message and I'll do it anyway. I'll help you anyway. So that is you set for the weekend. It's you. This is all about taking your power back in your health and your wealth and your relationships. We have the power inside to heal, to create, to have loving, harmonious relationships. That is our right, our birthright. But nobody's going to do it for you. I'm sorry. No drug, no vaccine, no operation. It's you inside here using this. This is the way ahead. Let go of the past. Let go of all of the ideas that you're not enough, because you are. Absolutely are. And tap in your new affirmations. I am. I allow myself to rise. I allow myself to move into these unconditional love states. I have the power. Okay, guys, you are the power. Have a wonderful weekend. Get out in the sunshine, get into a forest, breathe in some phytoncides, get in the sea, get in the river, get some negative ions into you, oxygenate yourself, and think of beautiful things. Huge, huge love. Ciao.